Have you ever stood by the ocean and watched the waves? Each one seems so powerful as it crashes onto the shore. But that massive wave started as something much smaller, a collection of tiny drops of water moved by the wind. A single drop seems like nothing. It is small. It is insignificant. Yet, when millions of these drops move together, they create a force that can shape coastlines over centuries. This simple, powerful idea is a secret that applies directly to your financial life. Small drops repeated over and over can make big waves. A tiny habit that you start today, one that feels almost too small to matter, has the power to completely change your life in 5 years. This is especially true when it comes to money. We often get distracted by the big, flashy headlines about money. We hear stories of people who made a fortune overnight or landed a job with a 6-figure salary. But the real skill, the one that truly matters in the long run, is not about how much money you make in a single year. It is not about one brilliant investment decision. It is about what you do every single day with the money you already have. The skill that beats all others every single time is the quiet, unassuming power of consistency. It is the steady rhythm of your actions, not the volume of a single event, that builds lasting financial security and freedom. Think of it like building a stone wall. You could wait for a giant crane to come and lift a massive boulder into place. That would certainly make a big impact all at once. But what if the crane never shows up? A more reliable method is to pick up one stone, a stone you can easily carry, and put it in place. Then, the next day, you do it again, and again the day after that. Each individual stone seems like a small effort, but after a month, you have a solid foundation. After a year, you have a wall. The power was not in the size of the stone, but in the simple, repeatable act of laying one stone after another, day after day. It is not a lottery win. It is not a sudden inheritance. It is the slow, deliberate, and often unglamorous process of showing up and taking small, positive actions consistently. It is choosing to save a small amount from every paycheck. It is making one extra payment on your debt each month. It is learning one new thing about investing each week. These actions, like the single drops of water or the individual stones, seem tiny on their own. But when they are compounded over time, they build a momentum that is unstoppable. This is the skill that separates those who struggle financially from those who build lasting wealth, regardless of their starting income. So what exactly is this magical skill of consistency? In the simplest terms, it means doing the same good thing more than once. It is the commitment to repeat a positive action even when you do not feel like it. It means not stopping when things get hard, boring, discouraging. When we talk about money, consistency means saving a little bit each and every month without fail. It means choosing one smart financial habit. The idea of consistency is beautifully simple. Anyone can understand it. But putting it into practice is not always easy. It requires patience and discipline in a world that craves instant results. We are not often taught this skill in school. We learn about algebra history, but rarely a class on the power of daily habits. When money is discussed, the focus is often on complex topics: stock market, economic theories, high-paying job. These things are important, but they are not the foundation. The foundation is your behavior. Consistency is a behavioral skill. It is about what you do, not just what you know. You can have all the financial knowledge in the world, but if you do not apply it consistently, it is useless. A simple plan you follow every day will beat a brilliant plan you follow once in a while. For fitness, you do not go to the gym 10 hours one day, then do nothing the rest of the month. You go 30 minutes 3 or 4 times a week. For language, you do not study a full day then quit. You practice 15 minutes every single day. The same principle applies to finances. The power is not in one intense action, but in frequency and regularity of many small actions. This steady, repeated effort builds financial strength over time. This is why I call it the most important money skill. It is more fundamental than understanding investment portfolios' tax law. Consistency is the engine that makes all other strategies work. You can have the best savings plan, best debt reduction strategy, best investment vehicle, but none will move without consistent action. Showing up now. Let's talk about the big one: income. It is easy to believe that a high salary is the ultimate solution to all money problems. And let's be clear, having a higher income is definitely helpful. It gives you more resources to work with and can speed up your progress toward your financial goals. More money provides more options, and that is a wonderful thing. But income alone is not the answer, and it is certainly not a skill. A high income is an outcome. It is a result of your job or business. And like any outcome, it can be unpredictable and is not entirely within your control. You could lose your job in a company-wide layoff. Your industry could face a downturn. Unexpected life events could force you to take a lower-paying position. Income is what you receive, but consistency is how you manage it. You have likely heard stories of lottery winners or professional athletes who earned millions of dollars, only to end up broke a few years later. They had a massive income, but they lacked the consistent habits of budgeting, saving, and smart spending. Their financial foundation was built on the shaky ground of a single, large influx of cash, rather than on the bedrock of solid daily habits. On the other hand, you may also know someone, perhaps a janitor or a teacher, who worked a modest-paying job their whole life and retired a millionaire. How did they do it? They practiced consistency. They lived below their means, saved a portion of every single paycheck, and invested it wisely over decades. This is the crucial difference. You have far more control over your actions than you do over your income. You can decide right now to set up an automatic transfer of $25 from your checking account to your savings account every single week. That is an action you control. You cannot, however, decide to give yourself a $20,000 raise tomorrow. Focusing on what you can control, your habits, is far more empowering and effective than worrying about what you cannot. A person with a $50,000 salary who consistently saves and invests 10% of their income will almost always end up in a better financial position than a person with a $150,000 salary who spends it all. So, while working to increase your income is a worthy goal, it should not be your only focus. The true skill lies in creating a gap between what you earn and what you spend, and then consistently putting that difference to work for your future. This is a skill that serves you well whether you are earning a little or a lot. It is a universal principle that adapts to your circumstances. A big paycheck can feel like a powerful speedboat, but without the skill of consistent navigation, you can easily crash into the rocks. When people talk about getting better with money, making good decisions, thinking long-term, being consistent, all three of these are incredibly valuable. Good decision-making helps you choose the right investment or avoid a bad loan. Long-term thinking helps you create a vision for your retirement, your children's education. But consistency is the master skill that brings the other two to life. It transforms a single good choice into a life-changing habit. One good decision gives a small boost. Repeat it consistently and it can change your financial future. Imagine you have an extra $1,000. One time. Put it toward your highest interest credit card debt. Smart move, saves interest, improves your credit score. But what about next month? The month after? If you go back to old habits, the single boost fades. Consistent habit. Pay an extra $50 on that card every month, without fail. Small action, repeated. Over time, that habit has a larger permanent impact than the one-time payment. Decision-making, spar choosing. Consistency, doing it again and again. Spend weeks researching the best ETF. That's decision-making. But it's worthless until you set up a plan to invest in that ETF every month. A simple, good enough plan followed consistently beats a perfect plan you never start or abandon after a few weeks. Consistency turns potential energy into kinetic progress. It makes the idea real. Consistency builds the muscle for better decisions. Track spending consistently, make smarter choices. Invest consistently, learn and gain confidence. Small repeated actions give feedback and make you smarter. One brilliant choice feels powerful, but steady repetition of good enough choices builds wealth. One clear plan, driven by steady, consistent action, wins the race. Long-term thinking is another, highly praised money skill. It is the ability to look past today's desires and envision the future you want to create. It is about setting big, inspiring goals, like buying a house in 10 years, retiring at 60, achieving financial independence. This kind of planning is essential. It gives you a destination for your journey, a North Star to guide your choices. Without a long-term plan, your financial efforts can feel random and directionless. But a plan, no matter how brilliant or detailed, remains just a collection of wishes if it is not powered by action. This is where consistency proves its superior importance. Think of it this way: long-term thinking gives you the map. It shows you the destination and the best route to get there. Consistency, however, is the act of putting one foot in front of the other and actually walking the path. You can have the most detailed, accurate map in the world, but if you just sit on your couch and stare at it, you will never reach your destination. The person who starts walking in the right general direction, even without a perfect map, will make more progress than the person who has a perfect map but never takes the first step. The two work best together, of course, but if you had to choose just one, you must choose the motion. A grand plan can sometimes be intimidating. When you look at a goal like save $500,000 for retirement, it can feel so huge and distant that it paralyzes you. You do not know where to start, so you do nothing at all. Consistency breaks that massive goal down into small steps, manageable steps. The goal is not to save $500,000. The goal is to save $100 from your next paycheck, and then to do it again from the paycheck after that. Consistency focuses you on the immediate, actionable step right in front of you, which is the only thing you truly have control over right now. Long-term thinking provides the why, but consistency provides the how. Your long-term vision for a debt-free life is the motivation that gets you started, but it is the consistent habit of making weekly extra payments that actually makes it happen. The vision inspires you, but the habit changes you. One gives you direction, the other gives you momentum. While a grand plan can be adjusted or even completely changed as your life evolves, the underlying habit of consistent saving and investing is what will ensure you are always moving forward no matter which destination you ultimately choose. The journey of 1,000 miles begins not with a map, but with a single consistent step. Let's look at some simple examples with real numbers to see this power in action. You do not need to be a math genius to understand this. The power is in the steady habit. Imagine you decide to start saving just $50 each month. It might not feel like much. You might think it is too small to make a difference. But let's see what happens. After 1 year of this simple habit, you will have saved $600. That is enough for a new set of tires, or to cover an unexpected emergency. After 10 years, without any interest at all, you will have saved $6,000. That could be a down payment on a car, or a life-changing vacation. The power was not in a one-time big deposit. It was in the steady, unbroken chain of monthly savings. Now, let's add the magic of compounding to that habit. Compounding is simply your money earning money. Let's say you take that same $50 a month and invest it in a simple fund that earns an average of 7% per year. After 10 years, you would have invested $6,000 of your own money, but your account would be worth over $8,600. After 20 years, you would have invested $12,000, but your account would be worth more than $26,000. After 30 years, you would have invested $18,000, but your account would be worth nearly $60,000. Your consistent small actions, combined with time, did the heavy lifting for you. This demonstrates how the habit matters far more than the initial amount. This same principle works wonders for paying down debt. Let's say you have a $10,000 credit card balance with an 18% interest rate, and you are making a minimum payment of $200 per month. It would take you over 8 years to pay it off, and you would pay over $7,000 in interest. Now, what if you consistently add just one extra payment of $50 each month? That small, steady action would help you pay off the debt in under 5 years and save you over $3,500 in interest. A single, one-time extra payment of $500 would help, but the consistent, smaller payment creates a systematic plan that guarantees you reach your goal faster and cheaper. These examples show that the size of the action is less important than the repetition of the action. Saving, investing, paying off debt. Start with a small, manageable amount. Do it consistently over a long period. Let time and compounding work in your favor. A person who starts a small, consistent habit early will almost always outperform someone who waits to start with a large, inconsistent effort later. The numbers do not lie. Small, steady moves, repeated without end, are what build real, lasting financial security. The math is simple, but the results are profound. Knowing that consistency is important is one thing. Actually building it into your life is another. The key is to start so small that it feels almost effortless. If you want to start saving money, do not commit to saving $500 a month right away. That can be daunting. Instead, start with $5 a week, or even $1 a day. The goal is not to make a huge impact with the first action, but to make the action itself easy to repeat. Once you have successfully saved $5 every week for a month, you have started to build the habit. You have proven to yourself that you can do it. These tiny wins are the building blocks of long-term consistency. One of the most powerful ways to ensure consistency is to make your habits automatic. We are all busy, and it is easy to forget. Take the thinking out of the equation. If you want to save money, set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to your savings account for the day after you get paid. If you want to invest, set up an automatic investment into a mutual fund or ETF each month. This is the pay yourself first principle in action. The money is moved before you even have a chance to see it or spend it. Automating your good habits is the closest thing to a financial superpower that exists. Another useful tool is to use reminders and create simple routines. Your brain loves patterns. You can set a recurring alarm on your phone for every Sunday evening to spend 10 minutes reviewing your spending for the week. Or you can make a small routine where you check your bank account balance every morning while you drink your coffee. The more you can tie your new financial habit to an existing part of your daily life, the more likely it is to stick. Keeping a simple chart or using an app to track your progress can also be incredibly motivating. Seeing a streak of check marks for each day you successfully completed your habit gives your brain a hit of dopamine and makes you want to keep the streak alive. Finally, it is crucial to celebrate your small wins and avoid the all-or-nothing trap. If your goal was to save $100 this month and you did it, acknowledge that accomplishment. Tell a friend or tell a partner or just give yourself a mental pat on the back. This positive reinforcement strengthens the neural pathways associated with the habit. At the same time, be kind to yourself. Many people fall into the trap of thinking they have to be perfect. They miss one day of tracking their spending and think, well, I failed, so I might as well give up. This is a destructive mindset. The goal is not perfection, it is persistence. If you miss a day, just get back on track the next day. Real progress is about starting again, not about never failing. No journey is a straight line, and the path to financial well-being is full of twists, turns, and the occasional stumble. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone faces setbacks. You might have an unexpected car repair that wipes out your savings for the month. You might make an investment that loses money. You might give in to temptation and overspend. These moments can be filled with fear, frustration, and the feeling that you have failed. The most important thing to remember in these moments is that this is normal. It is part of the process. Consistency is not about being flawless. It is about being resilient. Fear is a powerful emotion when it comes to money. There is the fear of not having enough, the fear of losing what you have, and the fear of making the wrong choice. This fear can be paralyzing. It can make you afraid to start investing, or afraid to even look at your bank account. The best antidote to this kind of fear is small, consistent action. When you are focused on the tiny, manageable step right in front of you, like saving just $10 this week, the big, scary future feels less intimidating. Each small, successful action builds your confidence and proves to your brain that you are capable and in control. Consistency shrinks the fear by replacing it with a sense of progress and empowerment. Mistakes are not failures. They are learning opportunities. If you make a bad financial choice, do not beat yourself up. Instead, get curious. Ask yourself, what led to that decision? What can I learn from it? How can I set up a system to avoid making that same mistake in the future? Maybe you learned that you need to build a bigger emergency fund. Maybe you learned that you are prone to impulse buys when you are stressed. This is valuable information. A person who makes a mistake, learns from it, and continues on their path is far stronger than someone who has never been tested. The most successful people are not those who never fall. They are those who get back up every single time. Remember that the length of your financial journey matters far more than any single misstep along the way. Think of it like a long road trip. Getting one flat tire does not mean the entire trip is ruined. You fix the tire and you keep driving. If you skip a month of saving, you have not failed. You just had a flat tire. The next month, you start saving again. The journey continues. The definition of a consistent person is not someone who never falters, but someone who always returns to the habit. The real victory is found in your commitment to keep going, one small step at a time. We have talked about why small actions matter, how consistency beats a high income, and how to build these habits into your life. Now it is time to put it into practice. Knowledge is only potential power. Action is real power. I want to give you a short, simple plan that you can use to start your journey today. Do not wait for the perfect time, because the perfect time will never come. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now. Your first step is to pick one, and only one, small money habit to focus on. Keep it so tiny that it feels almost laughably easy. This could be saving $1 a day, tracking one purchase a day, reading one article about personal finance a week. Once you have chosen your tiny habit, your second step is to automate it if you can. As we discussed, automation is your best friend in building consistency. If your habit is saving, go into your banking app right now and set up a recurring transfer. If your habit is learning, subscribe to a financial podcast or newsletter. Make it so the habit happens with as little effort from you as possible. Step 3 is to track it. Get a calendar or a notebook and put a big X on every day that you successfully complete your habit. This simple act of tracking will provide visual proof of your progress and motivate you to not break the chain. Step 4 is the most important: repeat. Just focus on showing up and doing your tiny habit today. Do not worry about next month or next year. Just focus on today. And step 5 is to celebrate your small wins. When you have successfully completed your habit for a full week, acknowledge it. This reinforces the positive behavior. Finally, step 6 is to be patient. After you have consistently performed your habit for 2 or 3 months, and it starts to feel automatic, only then should you consider adding one more small habit. This slow, layered approach is how you build a foundation that lasts a lifetime. If you found this idea helpful and you believe in the power of small, consistent actions, I encourage you to like this content and share it with a friend who might need to hear this message. Leave a comment below and tell us the one small habit you are going to start today. Committing to it publicly can be a powerful motivator. And be sure to subscribe for more simple, actionable tips to help you build a better financial future. Remember, this is not a race. It is a journey built one step at a time. Small actions, done every day, build big money freedom. Keep going.